the ANC had to take the position of saying, we are going to accept the outcomes as it is, and we are going to make sure we prioritize the interest of this country to ensure political stability of our country. And we call other sister countries in the region to do the same. Because when there's political stability, there will be economic prosperity. So we are ready to have those conversations. And we also appreciate that South Africans cannot carry the burden of their country being stable. And there are those who will say, oh, you benefited from the hospitality of your sister countries during your fight against apartheid. Yes, we benefited. You tell us that it's more than 30 years, so we cannot go back and complain about apartheid and say the difficulties of service delivery are inherent. Why is the same conversation not being asked? It's more than 30 years that the South African government, the apartheid government, has ended even destabilizing countries of the African region. Why are they not being asked to ensure their own political stability? There's no apartheid government that is destabilizing any country now. 32 years. So we must all take responsibility of ensuring political stability in our own countries, and we must work together collectively to ensure economic prosperity of the African continent. There's no single country that will carry the burden of others, because that country will itself collapse. It is for that reason that South Africa were committed to supporting the initiatives in Angola on the development of the Lobito Corridor. We've mobilized our South African investment companies to make sure that we support the development of the Lobito Corridor.
Nationals, undocumented foreign nationals. As a country, this movement that we are experiencing, what led to this concern in South Africa and at times getting out of hand?
I'm sure, Sophie, that you listened to the lecturer yesterday, Professor Fayemi from Nigeria. And he made a very important point. He said in 1969, Ghana did the same thing about Nigerians in Ghana and said, we don't want these undocumented nationals, and they attacked them, people ran away. Nigeria retaliated 10 years later, 1979 and 1981, and drove away the Ghanaians, and he said it solved nothing. He says what is happening in South Africa is not new on the continent. And our experience on the continent says these things that we did in Ghana, these things we did in Nigeria, which you are repeating here, didn't solve anything. They drive us against this unity which we need. And if South Africa, a very simple matter, Sophie, the African Continental Free Trade Area, our country, our government, everybody has welcomed this thing very warmly, and I agree. And one of the arguments, a very correct argument, that it would enable the South African economy to access the rest of the market on this African continent, this free trade area. What happens if the rest of the continent says we're going to boycott South African products? What happens to South African economy? You are beating us up and you want us to buy your oranges and wine or whatever. We're not
the oil.
And all of that. And we're not going to sell you anything and won't buy from you. You can't survive. South Africa cannot survive outside of the rest of the continent, which is what Professor Fayemi was saying. Ghana and Nigeria could not survive without each other. So this business of attacking one another was wrong, and was proved to be wrong. Same here. And I had said also, so if we've got it's a genuine complaint that is being raised about high levels of unemployment. It's correct. It's genuine. Issues that are being raised about high levels of crime, that's correct. That's genuine. What is not genuine, what is not correct, is to say the reason we have high levels of unemployment in South Africa is because of foreign nationals. It's not. It's because we as South Africans, as this leadership, as government, as businesses, we have not solved these economic challenges of South Africa. They have nothing to do with somebody who's coming from outside. Why are we blaming other people for our own faults? We've got to solve the problem of unemployment in South Africa by looking at how the South African economy is functioning what's gone wrong in the past, what is it that we need to do. If we think we're going to solve the problem of unemployment, by chasing away some undocumented person, in 10 years' time, problem will not be solved.
Subscribe.